I were only popping into Sainsbury's on the way to the chippy. Thought I'd pick up a couple of cans of lager and a chocolate bar for later. Well, that were afore I bumped into him, weren't it? At first, he came over to me all the way from across the store, and I could see he were carrying his Basics Italian cheese ball in his hand, like he weren't even trying to hide it. Well, I thought he were right weirdo, so I tried to turn my back on him, but then I noticed his tin of peeled plum tomatoes. They were sort of oozing out. I couldn't help but stare, and when he caught me looking, he started to smile. He reached out with his manly hands and picked up a pack of them salted peanuts, you know, the real salty ones. My mouth were all dry and I didn't know where to look. So I tried to walk away. I were heading for the ready meals. But before I got there, I could sense him right behind me. I didn't have to look, I knew it were him. As he shoved his Basics garlic baguette between my lamb chops. Oh, I knew it were wrong, but it felt so right. After that, I just let myself go. I fondled his nappy sacks, and he stroked me cottage pie, and oh, we felt like we were in heaven. Although I think it were only the pet food aisle. At this point, we'd caused quite a stir, and people were starting to stare, you see. But I said, let him. I grabbed a fistful of his pork pies, and I gave him a good licking. He shoved his face between my chocolate digestives, his hands all over me instant noodles. I could feel his Yorkshires, small but perfectly formed, and I cupped them in my hand. His eyes grew big. I had one final fondle of his sultanas before the tin of rice pudding exploded everywhere. Clean up in aisle 7, please. Someone's been a dirty bird. As we left the shop arm in arm, I invited him back to my place, via the chippy, of course. And he looked at me with such hunger in his eyes. I thought he'd rip me packaging off right there and leave me pineapple pieces totally exposed. But instead he just leant in for a kiss. Little did I know he'd find the rest of the bacon sarnie I had for lunch in there. I was saving that for later, you see. As he crunched away on my tasty morsel, I had to confess that my bacon hadn't come from Sainsbury's at all. I thought that might be it, that I might have lost him forever. But instead he just looked at me, held me close and swallowed hard. It's okay, love. You can